Therefore, good evening or good morning to everyone, wherever in the world you are listening to us. I'm very pleased to introduce Josefina Nucci, who's speaking to us from VU Security, one of the leading cybersecurity companies that joined privacy rules in recent days. So we are very happy for having Josefina and VU Security with us. We are discussing in just 9 minutes and a few seconds more about one of the most challenging topics for cybersecurity, and not only at a global level in these days, the relevance and the impact of the digital identity in the vaccination process. Josefina, thank you very much for accepting discussing with us about these. So the question is, can you describe to us the problems the governments and citizens are facing, and therefore why VU Security created this solution, which is, of course, of global scale nowadays?
Thank you very much for the invitation. Let me introduce the idea of digital identity that we manage from VU Security. And I would say that digital identity is a creation in digital environment of our personal identity in the real world. This digital identity can be used, can be created, enriched, managed, maintained, and used for generating more security in digital environments. In the case of the situation we are facing with pandemic and all this stuff, we have been required to complement all the digitalization the governments and the organization already have by adding this kind of security that is very focused in adding security, but also maintaining the usability and the familiarity that the people has with some applications, for example, a messaging application like WhatsApp, for example, or Telegram or Facebook Messenger. So the idea is to generate this identity and complement what the governments and organizations are already doing. I would say in the extreme of the implementation, we can implement a digital identity that can be used in different environments, generated once, and then having a coordination between organizations and government in order to utilize it. But coming back to the vaccination, that is something that is requiring our attention and services and solutions nowadays. Something that we have detected in our government customers is that the need of a quick startup for a platform that combines all the capabilities we already have in the digital world and the analysis from business intelligence, combined with logistics and coordination of the what we call the final user or the citizen that is going to come to a vaccination center to get the vaccine. So by understanding the situation, we came up with a solution that is combining all these, I would say, two worlds with the logistics in middle that were not used to work together so close. So we are identifying and registering citizens in this platform that most of the times are being combined between the registration or the knowledge the government already have about the person. For example, something called identification or DNA in some countries. So combining this with secure onboarding from the platform side in order to identify that the person that is connected to the connecting to the platform is the same that has the ID. Then using all this information that is captured from the identification and registering, combining it with BI techniques and already existing database in the government. For example, coming with a health condition of the people, demographic situation, all this information, distribution, geographically speaking, all this information will help build a BI base that will allow the country or the government prioritize the way people will receive the vaccination. And also important to combine this with all the information about the logistics of the vaccine and the requirement of the logistics, for example, the temperature and all this stuff that has to be taken care. So time and coordination of the places and people that will be organized for giving the vaccination. It's also very, very important part of this solution.
If I can interrupt you, Josefina, because on the
Yeah.
one side, unfortunately, we have a limited time in this format, but most probably because it's so interesting, we could organize a longer webinar or a longer conversation where we can provide even additional information concerning this. But I have two simple questions for you. On the one side, how does your solution contribute to pharmacovigilance? And an additional question that I have, because in our audience, we have even government representatives. So probably a question is, where can the EU security solution be implemented? Is there a geographical restriction or can be actually widespread all over the world?
Great question. Once we already have all the information in the BI system, invitations and coordination of the vaccination will be sent to the people. So every person in the country or in the geographic area you are covering will be invited to go to a vaccination center. Then we will get all the information for tracking what happens after the vaccination. And here the question you ask about pharmacovigilance is very important, because we are adding something that is very difficult to have in the real world, or takes too much time in order to consolidate. That is what is happening with each one of the people that is vaccinated. Then we will have this for doing a second phase of BI, of business intelligence, in order to learn and to take care of the situations that has to be looked closer. And from the usage perspective, further on, in some countries, and this is related to the second question you make, that is, how further can we go with the usage of the information we are getting here? And it depends, we can go all over the world with this solution. It depends on the local legislation, how much we implement about this. But using a vaccination passport or health passport is something that we are beginning to implement in some countries. So not only following up with the people in order to take care of them if they have any side effect, but also a second phase of the vaccination, or using this passport in any situation that the laws allowed and the country decides to implement.
Josefina, extremely interesting and most of all, very important for the global community in this moment. So as privacy rules, we will do the best in order to disseminate information concerning the EU security solution. We will probably call authorities to learn more about this and organize a webinar where to discuss about e-health. We are doing this also with our European committee, so probably this is something that we can transfer and channel also to the European institutions, authorities, and definitely all over the world. The time is coming to an end, unfortunately. I'm sure there is a lot of interest about this and we could discuss for long. I want to thank you very much for the moment, and this is certainly to be continued with Josefina Nucci, Director of Corporate and Partners at VU Security in Argentina.
Thank you very much for your time, interest, and we are available to anyone that wants to know more about this.